Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Wednesday morning. It's Stephen Whiteside here from the uptrend.com. Well, Wednesday should turn out to be an incredibly busy day for the market. We've got the Fed meeting this afternoon. We've got energy inventories this morning, but it's the Fed meeting that everybody's going to be concerned about. And of course, after the announcement comes out, and especially the press conference, we expect volatility to expand dramatically. Now, the Fed's in a tough position. They want to fight inflation. They don't want to put the country into a recession. At the same time, we've got Trump, who's all about inflation and putting the country into recession. So the Fed is in a terrible position at the moment. Now, tomorrow, of course, we get GDP numbers and initial jobless claims, and those numbers could also shake the market. Now, we've also got an enormous amount of earnings coming out this week. And today we've got Microsoft, Meta, Tesla, IBM, a whole bunch of other big cap companies coming out with earnings today. So that could also help change the direction of the market. Now, the fear index continued to move lower on Tuesday. It needs to close below 1583 to get us back on a sell signal on Wednesday. Little change for the US dollar index. It was up slightly on Tuesday. Bonds were down slightly. Bond yields were up slightly. So the bond market, the currency market, still supportive for higher stock prices here. Now, the TSX was up over a little over 0.5% yesterday. It was led higher by Infotech, up over 4%, then followed by communication services, up less than 0.5%. Now, it was Shopify up nearly 10% on the day. That was the big winner. We had Celestica come back with an inside day, so no change in trend there, of course. New high for BlackBerry on Tuesday. We saw money continue to move into OpenText and Constellation Software moving up on the day. Now, the Dow continued to move higher on Tuesday. It was up over a little over 0.25%. The S&P 500 was up 0.86% and back up above the upper channel line there, trying to fill the open gap from Monday. And then you can see that it was information technology and communication services. So just like the Canadian market, with most of the weighting going into Infotech. In the world of communication services, we had AT&T make a new high yesterday. Its Canadian counterpart was actually down slightly on the day on Tuesday after making a new high for this move. Then looking at the equal weighted S&P 500, we were down just a little under 0.5% yesterday. No change in trend there. The NASDAQ came back with a vengeance. It could end Wednesday on a buy signal with a close above $524.37. No change in trend for the equal weighted NASDAQ or the next generation NASDAQ, and no change in trend for mid cap, small cap, or micro cap stocks on Tuesday. Now, looking at the magnificent stocks, we still have NVIDIA in the doghouse, but we do have the ETF back on a buy signal, being led higher on Tuesday by Apple, which was up over 3.5% on the day. So Apple's back on a buy signal going into earnings, a new high for Amazon on Tuesday, inside day for Broadcom. Then we've got Alphabet trading back in the channel on Tuesday, new high for Meta, Meta breaking out above our last price target there, heading towards the next one. Nice big strong day for Microsoft, heading back up to the December highs. No joy for NVIDIA. NVIDIA had a wild day on Tuesday, making a new low for this move and then coming right back. So an outside reversal day for NVIDIA on Tuesday, but certainly no change in trend. Shopify, we talked about earlier, being up sharply on both sides of the border. And then Tesla. Tesla ended the day up 94 cents, or a little under 0.25%, still on a sell signal. No change in trend for Tesla. Now, yesterday I had a conversation with one of our members talking about the ARK ETFs and some of the stocks that she's following at the moment. When you look at the ETFs, for the most part, they're doing fairly well. They're all up at recent highs. There's the FinTech ETF. The market still loves that one. Now, the Genomics ETF looks really sloppy. This is a very sloppy symbol. And one of the things I was trying to emphasize with this member yesterday is before you start, following a symbol on a short-term basis, you probably want to take a look at the longer-term charts first, just to see how the market feels about a particular symbol. So there's nobody excited about the ARK genomics ETF right now. That has been the case for several years now. Now, the one that I like is not the innovation ETF. I actually like the industrial ETF, which is just recently put in a new high on last Friday. And then, of course, it dropped with the rest of the market on Monday, came back a little on Tuesday. There's what the monthly chart for this particular ETF looks like. So a lot more love for this. And of course, you can see that we put in higher lows and then we started to put in higher highs. So that ETF, that's what it looks like. And certainly, I don't want to be following the genomics ETF at this time. So there's the ARK Internet ETF, there's the ARK Space ETF, all doing fairly well at the moment. Let's finish off this morning's presentation, taking a look at the world of commodities. And we've got copper on a sell signal right now, was up slightly on the day yesterday. At the same time, copper miners made a new low for this move on Tuesday. We saw the money come back into the GLD, trying to fill the open gap. We still have gold miners on both sides of the border, still on a buy signal. Not as much love for silver at the moment. Silver miners struggling here, both the big caps and the junior silver miners, so no change in trend there. Then we've got palladium and platinum just treading water at the moment. No trend for either of those. Then looking at the energy sector, an inside day for crude oil. Of course, we get energy inventories this morning at 10. Inside day for gasoline, while natural gas continued to move lower. And we saw downward pressure on energy stocks on both sides of the border. Canadian energy stocks down 0.97%. In the U.S., they were down 0.95%. So we're on sell signals on both sides of the border at the moment. Okay, folks, that's all for this morning's presentation. This is Fed Day. The excitement will start this afternoon after 2. Of course, it really starts after 2:30 after they get the Fed chairman in front of the media. Have a great day. Next time you'll hear my voice is on Thursday morning.
Thanks for tuning in until the very end of today's stock market timing educational video. If you found the content valuable, don't forget to express your support by hitting the like button, leave a comment, sharing with your friends, and subscribing to our channel for more insightful updates. Remember, in the world of stocks, timing is crucial, and following the trend can be your greatest ally. If you would like more information on how we can help you better time the stock market, please visit theuptrend.com.